Hey everybody, what's up today? Well, today we are working on a Ford Fusion. What are we doing? Stick around to find out. Be right back. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around. As you saw, we've got this Ford Fusion that we are putting some bass into. We've got a nice little amp sub power wire kit we're going to throw into it. It's a 2012 Ford Fusion, and we're just doing our basic, before we get doing anything, check. I like to go in, it shows check engine light on. When I was bringing it in, it would say the rear park aid, and then so that way I know what I'm getting into. I've checked all the speakers of the car. All the speakers are all good. They sound as good as factory, but they don't make any weird noises. So that tells me they're good for now. Maybe talk customer into updating them here soon, but hey, it's all, see what happens. The other thing I'm doing is I'm just looking at the car itself just to see where could I mount the bass dial that's going to come with the amp. How does the dash come apart, stuff like that. We're using the factory radio, which is just that, but he wants to keep the factory radio for now, so we'll be running a WaveTech line-out converter, and I'm planning to see about putting it in behind where the glove box is, have it come off the back of the radio. And that is just because the speakers are in the doors. I can't just get the speakers off the rear shelf. If they're on the rear shelf, I'd grab them in the trunk, finest kind, done, there you go. But these are in the doors, so rather than taking both B pillars apart, I'm just going to pull the radio, hook the wires up there, get my power, ground, run the remote on from there, run it all at once, make a little harness to put the line-out converter to the side, and go from there. And if I ever have to get to it, it's just behind the glove box, easy to reach, get to, and yeah. So I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to start showing you what you really came here to see, and that's how to put the stereo in this car. And we're going to start with bringing out the amp wire kit and hook it up underneath under the hood of the car. So stick around, I'll show you what we do. Alright, so here we are under the hood of this car, and we're just kind of looking it over, seeing where a good place to mount our fuse holder could be. Like to try and keep it as close to the positive, but at the same time we don't want to have it going somewhere that if I put it here, then you can't take this off. If I mount it to here, right on top of the fuse holder, that doesn't look good. And if you ever have to take the fuse off, or the fuse is out, then you'll take the cover off and move wire around. So I'm just looking it over, and I'm kind of thinking right there might be a good spot for it. Make a little bracket. It's right there next to the battery. Have some plastic come down off of this bolt here, bend around, and I can have the fuse sitting right there next to it, nice and close, and it'll look good. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get some plastic, start making a shape, and we'll go from there. So stick around. Alright, thanks for sticking with us. We have the fuse holder mount done. As you can see, I get a decent view here. I've got it bolted right here to this bracket, which holds that in, and then it just comes out right next to the battery. It's not touching anything. If I push on it, it wiggles past everything. If you got to take this cover off, you got lots of room. You can see how that's pulling on that a little bit, and that's what I wanted to avoid. So now I'm just going to take the power wire from here, come around, hit here, here, under the dash, and up to the back of the car. So, guess what we're doing now? we're going to start getting some of this power wire run and see if we can't make this car a little louder. So stick around. Here we go. Alright, you're still with me? Perfect. We've gone and got the fuse holder all done, mounted, secured, and the power wires run. Now I don't have the fuse in there yet because I don't need it, but you can see I got it coming off the power. It goes right along, tucks up into the fuse holder, and from the fuse holder it goes way up into there through the firewall, no problems. And like I was showing earlier, you can still get to all this. You can still take that out, no issues. You can still get to this ground wire if needed. Everything there is all still just like the factory would have been. And normally I don't like to use too much split loom under the hood unless that's what the vehicle already has under here. I like to try and blend it in to look like the rest. As you can see, there's a lot of split loom under here. So that's why we went with split loom on the power wire. So now, I'll show you where we went through. There's a nice factory grommet. Let's see here. You can see I went right up there. Comes right through, no issues. Then I'm going to follow along this black wire right there, which is going to keep it looking nice, and then to the back of the car. So that's what I'm going to get ready to go do now, and get ready to run the power wire. So be right back, and you'll see it done. So stick around. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around. We've just finished wiring up the line-out converter. You take the dash apart. It's a little bit of a puzzle, but nothing drastic. You lift the top here up a little bit after removing the 8mm bolts that are there. That's not going to go up high. It's only going to go up a little ways, but it gives you just enough room to get to these screws. Then you need to lift up on the center console here. After you take that nice chrome trim off, take out the ashtray, and then everything pulls out, and you can remove that entire panel. And when you do that, then you just have 4 7mm bolts to take out the radio and hook up your line-out converter. Now I'm going to post up a picture here. Somewhere's down there. I'm not sure where it is yet, but it should be down there somewhere. That's going to show the wiring colors for this vehicle as to which ones you need. Now I tapped into the rear and I used the power and ground for the line-out converter, so it gives me a remote on. And now we're going to get ready to run the RCAs to the back and continue on wiring up the amp. I did start playing with an idea for an amp wrap back there, but I'm not going to show it to you yet. I'm going to get this back together, get the car back together on the dash here, and then I'm going to take you to the trunk, show you what we have back there, and go from there and then see how this is going to sound. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. Yeah, so just had to replace my battery, but as you saw, you got a WDX G2 base crate. I was just saying some of the specs on it, from 1.5 thick faceplate on it to the 3/4 inch MDF. Like I was saying, it weighs about 78 pounds, and as of right now it sounds good. I just finished tuning the amp. I used the good old SMD DD1. I used it to figure out what the distortion point of the line-out converter was, where my max clean signal, and I came back, set the amp to that, which the amp itself has a clip light on it, and the two were pretty much the exact same. So this thing's set for cranking as loud as he can right up to that point, and we'll be good to go. So, but now I suppose you want to know what the amp is too. Well, there it is there. It's WDX 1500.1. It's their new mini series. And once I get that secured so it sits in there, I haven't done that yet because it's still being, I was just doing all the testing and tuning. It's going to tuck in there like that. I will be making that disappear as well because, like I said, I just finished all the tuning. So I'm going to go tuck everything back together. Why don't you go hit that subscribe button, or even drop a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the install, the channel, me, whatever. Go hit that subscribe, and I'll be back in a second to show you the final results. So stick around. Alright everybody, it's been a long day, but I'm done. This car is finished, sounding great, and now I'm going to take you through a walkthrough of it. As you can see, there's the fuse holder we had earlier, still mounted. You can see all the split loom with the heat shrink. Then it goes up and then down through the firewall. And a nice little fuse holder bracket to keep everything nice and safe. Then, take a walk inside. And remember what I was telling you about hiding some wires? Well, there we are. You can see they all blend together now. I kept that theme the whole way through the entire car. So then we get to the back, and I've actually got the trunk cleaned out a little bit. So there's the amp mounted up. They got the wires run to the side. Everything nice and secure, tucked in there. And then you got your DB drive, WDX G212. And of course that air compressor would come on at the worst possible time. So there it is. WDX by DB Drive. Same with the amp. Everything's all set, tuned, ready to go. So now I just got to call the customer, let him know it's ready, and he can come get it. And then we're on to the next one. So stick around. I've got a bunch more videos coming up real quick. And I'll be, go hit that subscribe button. Talk to you next time.